$1,000 a month.
So I'm wondering,
Yes.
just as you mentioned your services, what sort of opportunities are there for businesses that probably may want to contact, or what kind of services they can use to get to such instances?
With respect to reaching to us?
Yes.
Okay,
because some are saying, indeed, you said you are assisting or helping them get access to suppliers. And some are wondering, what kind of products can they best reach out to you for?
Okay, great. I understand that. So now we are looking for companies that are into manufacturing. We have, for instance, Spanish, Italian companies, German companies in China producing maybe chocolates. And I come to think about it and I say, look, the best chocolate is coming from Ghana. You know, why can't we produce chocolates for China in China, but bringing our resources, into China? So we produce our own cocoa, we export our own cocoa to our own factories in China and produce it for the economy. Now, let's bear in mind that China is not just a population of 1.4 billion people, but it's a population of 1.4 billion people who are empowered financially. And about 800 million people go online to trade every day, to buy and sell every day. There is a seamless payment platform in China, and logistics is excellent in China. So if you're trading and doing business within China, you have a huge opportunity of growing your market. So instead of thinking of just exports, producing locally and exporting it, you can actually transport your company to that country and produce within that country. And we have the network to help local companies jump through the hurdles and start their own mini factories there in China.
Would that be costly, considering the whole movement and structure that you said? I like the part where you said we can have a production center in a country such as China, where instead of just exporting our raw materials, we can send the raw material to our company in China to produce and sell for Chinese market.
Exactly, that's possible. We can even export our own timber to our own factory in China or any part of Asia and produce the furniture for their market. So we are not just exporting raw materials for another company, but we're keeping the money within our own circle. And this is something that is done everywhere. They are doing it here, and we feel that it's just a fair balance that we are trying to create. It's a free world, and surprisingly, the Chinese government is welcoming to all of these opportunities. When we did our research about importation of rice into China, we're very surprised to know that the Chinese government welcomes imported rice into China. And that is something that our local manufacturers should consider. And we are in the position where we can help to make that possible.
I'm sure policymakers are watching us now and wondering, we are producing so much, we don't know where to sell them, where to put them. This is time that you can take this particular suggestion into consideration and begin to implement it as soon as possible, because a market means opportunity.
Right.
China has been dominant for many years, over a decade now, and this time the way of doing business has changed. So let's go a mile ahead. So you're looking at the future where we can take this initiative. I kind of, doing my own research, I kind of see Chinese technology has gone higher compared to most African countries, or let's say worldwide.
Yes.
How is that?
So the Chinese government has a very steady and robust agenda to grow in certain areas, and technology is one of them. Through education, through research and higher education. And I feel that the robust agenda by the Chinese government also offers local firms who want to tap into this opportunity to consider relocating, not relocate completely, but having a branch of their company in China for the Chinese market. And one of the advantages for this is technological advantage. So you have access to new technology that may not be readily available in your home country. You'd have access to a lot of events that promote food and whatever industry. Every industry you think about, there are always events and fairs in China. You may not be readily available to fly for these events, but if you're located in China, you have access to these events at any given time. So even with the support, governments can offer support to foreign entities. There are processes to go through. But what I'm trying to preach is that the Chinese government is very friendly to businesses.